Welcome to the class 8 students. Today I will be continuing with the chapter reproduction in plants and the topic that I will start today is artificial pollination. Okay, so we have talked about pollination previously and that was natural pollination. That means what happens, the pollination that happens naturally, and there are two types of pollination, which is self-pollination and cross-pollination, and we have also discussed about the different agents of pollination which help in transferring the pollen grains from the male flower to the female flower. Okay, so that was all about natural pollination. Now, what is artificial pollination? Obviously, artificial pollination is not done naturally. It is performed artificially, probably in the lab. Means it is desired that artificial pollination will be done in the lab. But why is this artificial pollination done when natural pollination already takes place? Artificial pollination, you will find it in your book. Artificial pollination is performed to produce a new variety of plant with certain required characteristics. So suppose there is a plant A and there is another plant B. So plant A has certain good characteristics in it. Okay, I am not mentioning what good characteristics. It has certain good characteristics in it, and plant B has certain other good characteristics in it. So this is the good characteristic of plant A, and this is the good or desired characteristic of plant B. So if we pollinate between plant A and B, we will get a hybrid of plant A and B, and we can name it as AB, or we can just name it separately as X, and it will have both the good characteristics of A and B, and thus it will be more desired by maybe farmers or those who research about this type of things. Okay, so artificial pollination is basically done to produce a new variety of plant, which is this. Basically AB is the combination of A and B, or also we can call it by a completely separate name. Okay, and it is produced with certain required characteristics. So we or scientists who are doing this kind of researches and finding out new varieties of plants, so they desire certain characteristics, certain good characteristics in a plant, and they will find out other plants who has that may be two different plants who has those characteristics. So suppose that one is A and another one is B, and then they will take one one male that can be either A or B, and one female flower that can be the other one. Obviously, if A is the male one, B will be the female one, and they will take both of these varieties and will get this new variety with all the desired characteristics. Okay, I hope I am clear to you why artificial pollination is done. Artificial pollination is done to say in short, to get plants with better varieties or desired characteristics in them. In this process, as I have already said here, I am reading from the book. In this process, two different varieties of a crop plant with the desired characteristics are selected. For example, one variety may be high yielding. So I have not mentioned any variety here. So right now I am mentioning high yielding variety. Of high yielding means the yield after the crop is matured, the yield will be very high than other varieties who are who are low yielding, who do not, or who are just normal ones. Okay, so this one is high yielding, and the other one is the other variety may be disease resistant. So this variety may be disease resistant. So these two are very much wanted characteristics in a crop plant or in plant that they will be high yielding and they will be disease resistant, since pests and other insects tend to attack crops a lot, and then diseased crops will not give us much yield. So these two are the characteristics that are required by scientists, and they want these two. Here these two are found in two separate varieties of crops or plants. Now this scientist or anyone who is doing this research wants both of these characteristics in this same plant. Okay, so what they will do, they will take a male flower of either of these and the other one will be female flower or a crop, and then they will do cross between them. As a result, we will get a crop or a plant which will have both of these varieties in them. That means this new variety will be both high yielding and also disease resistant. Clear? After selection of these varieties, crossbreeding is done by artificial pollination to get a variety of plants which has both the desired characteristics from the parent varieties. This process is known as hybridization. This whole process is known as hybridization. Now, talking about this word hybrid, hybrid means a combination of two or a mixture of two. So here basically that is only happening, right? So a mixture or a combination of this A and B are taking place, and we are getting AB, where all its basic properties are a mixture of this both of these, that means high yielding and also disease resistant. So producing a hybrid, so a hybrid is being produced here. A hybrid is being produced here, right? So this process of producing this hybrid variety of crop or plant is known as hybridization. I hope this is clear to you all. And the new variety, as I already said, is known as a hybrid. The whole process of producing this hybrid from two separate varieties of crops or plants and thus getting both of their characteristics in one plant, forming the hybrid, is known as hybridization. I hope this part is clear to you all. Moving towards the next paragraph, many hybrid high-yielding varieties of wheat, rice and maize have been produced by the process of hybridization. So since rice, wheat, maize, basically rice and wheat, these are our staple food of our country. There is excessive demand of these foods in our country. So to improve the production of rice and wheat, scientists have found this way that diseases attack these crops a lot, and also they do not yield much, they do not grow much. Okay, so to prevent both of them, they have found out varieties of both with both the characteristics. That means they have found out a variety of rice which is disease resistant and another variety of rice which is high yielding, and they have made a cross between them and got a very high yielding disease resistant variety of rice which is known as a hybrid. Okay, the steps in the process are explained in figure 2.8. So now this topic is very important, and also the process of hybridization which you will find in your book page number 25, figure 2.18, the flow chart is also very important. So I will write here so that you can understand it. Now the first step is, during hybridization the stamens of I'm writing in short, you will find the full thing in the book. Stamens of a bisexual flower are removed. Stamens are removed before their anthers mature. So the stamen is the main reproductive part of the flower, and the anther is this one, where the pollen grains are stored. So this one is the anther and this one is the filament, and the whole thing is known as the stamen. So from a bisexual flower, the stamens are removed. That means the male reproductive before the anthers mature, before this part matures, that means if it matures, it will start storing or producing pollen grains, right? So before this part matures, the whole anther is removed. Next, what happens? This flower with gynoecium intact, gynoecium is intact, gynoecium, that means the female reproductive part. So gynoecium intact, it is not removed unlike the stamen. So gynoecium is intact, it is covered with a paper or muslin bag. Paper bag. To prevent natural pollination. So what we are doing is, we are doing artificial pollination, right? So artificial pollination is the ongoing process, but to prevent natural pollination, to prevent any agent of pollination to come and transfer the pollen grains on this gynoecium of this flower, it is covered with a paper bag. So suppose this is the flower. Okay, from here anther is removed, but gynoecium is still there. It is covered with a paper bag. The whole thing is covered with a paper bag so as to prevent natural pollination, so that agents of pollination do not drop pollen grains on this flower. And since the gynoecium is already there, if pollen grains are dropped on this flower, what will happen? Natural pollination will take place and our whole process will be hampered. So we are trying to do artificial pollination. If natural pollination already takes place, this process does not make any sense. So what we have to do is, we have to prevent natural pollination. Okay, next step. When the stigma of this flower matures, so what is the stigma? The stigma style ovary. Stigma is that top bifurcated sticky portion of the female reproductive part, that means this part. The last one is the ovary style and stigma. So on the stigma, pollen grains are dropped, right? So this part. When the stigma matures, pollen grains from another selected plant are taken and deposited on that stigma. So stigma has now matured. Pollen grains from a plant of our choice, or of the needed or the desired characteristic from pollen grain from a chosen plant is kept on this stigma. Okay, so when the stigma of this flower matures, pollen grains from another selected plant are taken and deposited on the stigma. So previously what we did, we tried to prevent natural pollination by covering the plant with a paper bag, and we let the flower, or now this flower is no more bisexual flower, and it is just a female flower, and we let the stigma of this plant mature. Okay, so when the stigma matures, after it has already matured, what we do is, we take pollen grains from a chosen plant that has characteristics of our choice. We take pollen grains and drop it on the stigma. Okay, the seeds produced after artificial pollination give rise to a new hybrid variety. So here what will happen? Fertilization will take place in its natural way. Fertilization will take place and seeds will be produced, and these seeds will be of a hybrid variety, which is generally better than the parent plants. Who are the parent plants here? This one, this gynoecium with this plant is one parent, and the other plant from which the pollen grain has been taken is the other parent. So after fertilization, the seeds that has been produced is of a better variety and is much better than any of its parents. Okay, so the last step is they are high yielding, of better quality, and are disease resistant. So these chosen plants are chosen in such a way that these plants or crops are high yielding. They give better quality flowers or crops or whatever their fruits are, and they are disease resistant. So this whole flow chart is how artificial pollination is done in plants. So to do a small recap, first is from a bisexual flower, the anther, before the anther matures, the male reproductive part is taken out, and now it is no more a bisexual flower because only female reproductive part is there. Now the gynoecium is intact in it. The flower of the plant will be covered by a paper or muslin bag to prevent natural pollination. Okay, so that plants female part does not come in contact with other pollen grains, because we are trying to do artificial pollination. Natural pollination has to be prevented, and that is why paper bag or muslin bag or a paper bag is given. So after a certain point of time, the stigma will mature. That means the female reproductive part will mature, and then we will transfer pollen grains of our choice, means pollen grains from plants of our choice, and drop it on the stigma, and in the natural way fertilization will take place in the ovary, and the resultant will be a seed, or from the seed obviously plant will grow. The resultant will be a plant with a better variety, better quality, disease resistant and high yielding. So for you this whole chart is very, very important. Okay, this chart on page number 25, chart means it's a flow chart, figure number 2.18. This is very, very important. If you are asked to write how artificial pollination takes place, or what is the process of hybridization. Artificial pollination is also known as hybridization, as I have already told you. You will have to write this whole flow chart. Okay, so I hope I am clear to you with this artificial pollination part. I will continue with the fertilization part, how fertilization in flowering plants take place. I will continue with that in the next video. Thank you.